In this video, we got another episode of the Start Bench Cut series. If you guys don't know what this series is, basically I'll tweet out probably about once a week on X Evan Tanaka, my Twitter. I'll be saying something along the lines of another episode of Start Bench Cut dropping tomorrow, so let me know 3 players down below, and then you guys will let me know 3 players in their replies. And then now on this video, I'm gonna go through and tell you guys which player I would start, which player I'd bench, and then which player I would cut. But if you guys also want to let me know on the YouTube video, let me know in the comment section down below on the YouTube vid. Let me know 3 different players at the same position, and I'll let you guys know who I would start, who I would bench, and then who I would cut. But looking at the first 3 players from the Rio Laker fan, he's gonna suggest or say Dr. J, Vince Carter, and Terry Dischinger. Now I do think these are the 3 best shooting guards in my team, especially on next gen, so it's a very tough debate. I feel like for me it's really between Vince Carter and Terry Dischinger. I do think they're the 2 best shooting guards in my team right now. I think Dr. J is most likely going to get cut, even though I do think Dr. J is still very elite and obviously still a very usable shooting guard, probably the 3rd best in the game. But Vince Carter and Terry Dischinger is a very close debate. I mean, stats wise, I think Vince is definitely a little bit better. I mean, the plus 10 steal is definitely going to be noticeable. I mean, honestly, I will say, yeah, Vince definitely clears Terry Dischinger in the stats wise. Badges wise, I think Vince has also got some better badges. He's got Hall of Fame Hyperdrive, Hall of Fame Deadeye, Hall of Fame Limitless Range, which is definitely going to be a plus. And I don't really see many that Terry has over a guy like Vince Carter, except for like Challenger and Clamps. But then Vince Carter does have, Anchor and Glove over him. So very similar card stats and badges wise. I feel like Vince is slightly better though. And then animations, I do like Vince Carter's jump shot a tiny bit more. Dribble 6 wise, very close as well. I mean, they have the same size up and the same escape. It's very close. You can honestly go either way, but I do think Vince Carter is going to be the best shooting guard. So for these 3 players, I would start Vince Carter, cut Terry Dischinger, and then, I would start Vince Carter, bench Terry Dischinger, and then cut Dr. J. Next one is going to be Tim Thomas, Giannis, and Dr. J. Now, I'm not sure what position he's saying for. I guess small forward he's talking about. So if we're talking about the small forward position, it's easily going to be Tim Thomas, Giannis, and then Dr. J. I think Dr. J is a better card than Giannis. So maybe if he was just saying, 3 cards in general, then I would probably go Tim Thomas starting, bench Dr. J, and then cut Giannis. But if we're saying at small forward, then I would start Tim Thomas, bench Giannis, and then cut Dr. J. I just think Dr. J is too small to play the small forward position, only being 6'6". Now looking at the next one is going to be Joe Smith, Kawhi, and LeBron at the small forward position. For me, this is a really tough one because I do like Joe Smith, but I also really like LeBron for that starting small forward spot. Now LeBron is going to give you more defense than a guy like Joe Smith. He is going to be definitely the better defender, also being 6'9" and has a really good player model. I'm not sure who's a better small forward though, to be honest, between LeBron and Joe Smith. I think I'm going to cut Kawhi though, even though Kawhi is actually not that bad. I just feel like this year Kawhi Leonard, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because of his jump shot or something in game, this Kawhi card just doesn't play like at a super high level. I think it might be the defensive, it might be on the defensive end, because usually in past my teams, Kawhi's like always one of the best small forwards or shooting guards, especially kind of at the start to the middle of the year. So I think Kawhi Leonard for me is definitely going to get cut. I'm going to start LeBron, bench Joe Smith, and then cut Kawhi Leonard. I just really like that 'tis the season LeBron. I think he provides you some really good defense and overall has a very good player model and just a very good all-around card. Next one from Ride Guy is going to be JaVale McGee, Kristaps Porzingis, and Wang ZZ. Now for me, I truly believe these 3 guys are very close. I'm kind of leaning towards JaVale McGee starting. I will say though quickly, JaVale McGee, you kind of have to know how to use this card. I will say probably the easier card to use is probably Kristaps or Wang ZZ because they have easier jump shots and they're just going to be a lot easier to use in game. But I feel like if you know what you're doing, with his jump shot and a 79 3 ball, he's a better defender than Kristaps and Wang. So that's definitely what JaVale has over them, and he's faster by a decent amount as well. Like, let me check Wang ZZ's speed, because JaVale does have 84, which is definitely a plus. And yeah, Wang's only got 76, and I think Kristaps has got 74, I believe. So yeah, JaVale is definitely going to be the better defender. He's faster, and he's going to be better finishing around the rim. The only thing Wang ZZ and Kristaps have over JaVale McGee is obviously the jump shot and their 3-ball rating. But like I said, if you know how to use JaVale McGee's jump shot, which is pretty nice if you can green it consistently, then I think JaVale McGee should be starting. I think he's slightly better than guys like Kristaps and Wang ZZ. So for this, I would probably start JaVale. I would cut Kristaps and then probably bench Wang ZZ, but honestly KP and Wang are very close. But like I said, I would start JaVale McGee, bench Wang ZZ, and then cut Kristaps Porzingis. Next one here, also from Ride Guy, is going to be Bam, Kemp, and Reed. For me, this one's pretty simple. I'm gonna start Reed, I'm gonna bench Sean Kemp, and then I'm gonna cut Bam. I think Bam and Kemp is definitely close. Really depends if you want more defense or offense for your power forward. I think Reed is definitely the best power forward out of these 3 guys though. I mean, Reed is actually super elite at the power forward position, so I would start Reed, bench Sean Kemp, and then cut Bam Adebayo. Next one is going to be Joe Smith, Lamar Odom, and AK. Once again, very close at the small forward position. I mean, this new AK card I do believe is super good, especially for his price tag. He's a great small forward, 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan. I mean, AK is the best defender in the game, and I don't think that's particularly close. So, I mean, at the small forward position, if you're looking for defense, you definitely go with AK in this situation for these three guys. So for me, I would probably start, I don't know, because Joe Smith is really good. I think I'm going to cut Lamar Odom though. So out of these three guys, I would definitely cut Lamar Odom. I think for me, it's really between Joe Smith and AK. Joe Smith is such a good card though, man. Like, he's super well-rounded. He's got a good jump shot. He plays good defense. I think I'm going to start Joe Smith. I think I'm going to start Joe Smith and bench AK and then cut Lamar Odom. Yeah, I might start AK. It really depends if you need defense or more offense. But overall, I'm going to start Joe Smith, bench AK, and then cut Lamar Odom. Next one is going to be Willis Reed, AD, and Bam. A very similar to one to the Bam, Kemp, and Reed. Is Reed better than Anthony Davis? I don't think so, but honestly, maybe. I'm definitely going to cut Bam. I think for the starting position, it's obviously between Reed and AD. I don't know if you guys have used Reed before, let me know who you guys think's better, Anthony Davis or Reed. I'm gonna still give it to Anthony Davis just because he's got 15 Hall of Fame badges. AD obviously still has a really good player model. I'm gonna say start AD, bench Willis Reed, and then cut Bam. Next one is gonna be Tony Kukoc, Cincy Nice Pal, and Scotty. Does he mean Scottie Pippen, I assume? This one is kind of interesting. I think it's pretty obvious for me though. I would start Cincy Nice Pal, bench Tony Kukoc, and then cut Scottie Pippen. I think Cincy is probably the only good small forward out of these three. I'm not really the biggest fan of Tony, and Scottie Pippen just a little bit outdated. So that's what I would say for these three small forwards. Next one is going to be Yao Ming, James Harden, and Vince Carter. I'm assuming he's just talking about, you know, cards in general. I would say this one's not very simple, but Yao Ming obviously going to be the best card. Definitely going to be starting Yao Ming. For the bench spot, I mean, obviously, I do think Vince is probably better at his position. I'm not exactly sure who's the better card. I'm going to give it to Vince Carter, though. I think he's slightly better than a guy like James Harden. So for this one, I would start Yao Ming, bench Vince Carter, and then cut James Harden. But that one is very close between James Harden and Vince. Next one is going to be James Harden, Penny Hardaway, and Magic. For me, this one is a little bit complicated as well. I think Harden's definitely going to be starting. I think Harden is the best point guard in my team just because of how elite he is on the offensive end. He's a 6'5" point guard with a 6'10" wingspan. I mean, you guys can just take a look at these stats, at least for the offensive side of things. I mean, he's one of the best offensive cards in my team. Defensively, he can hold his own as well. He's got a good jump shot, right? Great dribble sigs as well. I think Harden definitely going to be starting. It really just comes down to Penny Hardaway and Magic Johnson. For me, I think I like using a guy like Penny a little bit more than Magic just because I like Penny Hardaway's jump shot more. I think he's got better movement, but Magic is 6'9" and probably the better defender. So let me know who you guys prefer also, by the way, between Magic Johnson and Penny. Stats wise, it's very close. It looks like Magic might be a little bit better stats wise. Animations, I think that's definitely where Penny Hardaway's a lot better. He's got a way better dribble style. He's got a way better jump shot. So for me, I would probably bench Penny Hardaway and then cut Magic Johnson. But I think in the right lineup, you know, with Magic Johnson maybe next to a Vince Carter, and then you could probably bench Magic. But I'm gonna say start James Harden, bench Penny, and then cut Magic. But Penny and Magic, I think you could really flip either way around. Next one is gonna be Porzingis, Pink Diamond Cat, and Bob Nedelecki. I'm assuming he means that, I guess, center. If we're saying for center, Bob Nedelecki, he's just too small to play the center position. If you're talking about, you know, overall cards, then I would start Bob Nedelecki. He's just a better card out of the three. And then I'd probably bench Porzingis and then cut Cat. I'm not sure who's better between Karl-Anthony Towns and Porzingis. That's actually a close one because I think Cat does look better on paper, like stats and badges, but I don't think his jump shot's great only on normal time. Like, I would definitely take Kristaps' release, but I think stats and badges, Cat is a little bit better. So that one I'm not 100% sure on. I think for now, I'll probably say bench Porzingis, start Bob Nedelecki, and then cut Cat. But if it's at the center position, then you would definitely start Kristaps, bench Cat, and cut Bob Nedelecki. Bob's 6'9", just way too small to play the center position. Next one is going to be John Morant, Baron Davis, and Donovan Mitchell. This is the perfect one, honestly. This is probably the closest one we've had all video. I think this is super close. I think I am going to start John Morant, though. The more that I've seen him in game and the more that I've kind of used him a little bit, I think John Morant is super elite. I mean, he's just so good at getting to the rim. Still one of the best offensive cards in my team. He's going to be a solid defender as well. For me, I think it's simple in the sense that I like Donovan Mitchell more than a guy like Baron Davis, but let me tell you guys right now, this Baron Davis card is actually super elite. He's 6'3" with a 6'5" wingspan. I mean, this one's really close. Honestly, I think you could go either way. I think for me, though, I think I'm going to start John Morant, bench Donovan Mitchell, and then cut Baron Davis. But like I said, I'm going to be very, very close. Next one is going to be Zion Williamson, Dirk, and Tim Thomas. I think once again, he's just asking who's the better card, not necessarily at their position. For me, I would say it's easily Tim Thomas number 1, Dirk number 2. Like start Tim Thomas, bench Dirk, and then cut Zion. Zion's a good small forward, but not on the same level as guys like Dirk and Tim Thomas. Those are the 2 best cards at their specific positions. Like I think Dirk's the best power forward, and Tim Thomas is the best small forward. And then last one here, guys, of the video is going to be SGA, Baron Davis, and Donovan Mitchell. I think this one is another close one between all 3 of these guys. I think SGA, honestly, I might cut SGA. I think I might start Donovan Mitchell, bench Baron Davis, and cut SGA. I just have not liked this SGA card recently. I just sold him on my team because I don't know, I just don't like using this card recently. I don't know why. Like his defense isn't that great. He's not the best at going to the rim. For me, this one might be a little bit controversial at the end of the video, but I think I'm gonna say start Donovan Mitchell, bench Baron Davis, and cut SGA. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, let me know in the comment section down below what 3 players would you guys want to see, who I want to start, who I want to bench, and then who I want to cut. But hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.